So in this assignment, what we're going to be doing is creating some charts, and specifically going to be creating some pie charts. And we're also going to be looking at something called freeze view. So one of my pet peeves when you're in a spreadsheet is when you're scrolling down, you lose the information at the top that tells you what the actual data is. And the same thing happens if you scroll over, you lose that information that labels each row and each column. So what we're going to do is we're going to use something called freeze view. And that allows us to keep certain things in our view at all times. So we're going to go up to freeze under view, and we are going to freeze 2 rows since we actually have 2 headers at the top. And we're going to go up to view, and we're going to go to freeze, and we're going to go to, let's say, 2 columns as well. And what that allows us to do now is as we scroll down, you still see the information at the top to let you know what this data is. And if we scroll over, same thing, we still know which artist, which album it is, and then we can see the sales. And that allows us to be, to still be able to figure out where we're at in our data set and what we're looking at. So now we're going to get into charting. So to create a chart, you need to select the data that you want to appear in the chart. Is the easiest way to do it. There are other ways, but the easiest way is to select what you want to have in your chart, in your graph. So we're going to show the sales by region, by artist in pie charts. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my best way equation, although I can use any of them. But I'm going to use my best way one, and I'm going to click on the name. So I click on Taylor. I'm going to hold down Control, click on Metallica. Keeping Control held, I'm going to go click on their numbers for US sales. Okay, so now I can let go of Control. I should now have the 2 names selected, which are going to be my labels, and I should have the 2 amounts selected, which is what their actual sales are in the United States. And then I'm going to go up and insert a chart. So you can insert a chart from the header at the top from the menu, just under Insert Chart, or of course you can go to Insert and then click on Chart. So I'm going to click on the button Insert a Chart. And it inserts the chart that I don't want. I don't want a column chart. I want a pie chart. So I'm going to click on the type, and I'm going to scroll down to a pie chart. Just click on the first one there. And let's zoom out a little bit here. Okay, so now I have that chart. And it tells me Metallica sales versus Taylor sales, but it doesn't give me a title. So I need to put in that title manually. So I'm going to go over to Customize, and I'm going to go to Chart and Title Axis. And then under the chart title, I'm going to call this US sales. And I want that to be bold, and I want that to be centered. Okay. And now this chart is really big. I'm going to be putting a bunch of them in here. So I do not want to have this big. So I'm just going to shrink this down, and I'm going to move this over. Okay, so now I have room here to put in my next one. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to click on the 2 artists, and I'm going to go over to Canadian sales. And I'm going to go through the same process again. Make that a pie chart. Give that my title. Call this one Canadian sales, can sales. And again, going to make this bold, centered, shrink it down. And I'm going to keep going with this for each of the areas, for each of the different regions, Latin America, Asia, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, the rest of the world, and for the total as well. So I'm going to make all those pie charts. I'm going to arrange them down here so they all fit in there. Okay, so we'll come back when I have that all done, and that'll be your assignment for today. All right, so I'm partway through creating these copies of these pie charts for each of the different areas. And what I wanted to show you is a little bit quicker way to do that. Now that you've been creating them, you can copy and paste them. And of course, it's just taking the same information if you copy and paste it, but we can quickly change it to match the new one that we're doing. And I'm just going to show you how to do that. So I've got made up to Europe here now. So I'm just going to click on this and then Control C to copy and then Control V to paste that. So now I've got the chart already made up. And I'm going to double click in the title. And this one's going to be for Australia. Okay, but it's still showing the Europe data. So what I need to do now is I'm going to double click again, and I'm going to go to Setup, and I'm going to scroll down to Value, and I am going to click on Remove, and then I'm going to click on Add, and I'm going to click on this little Select Data range here, and I'm going to move that out of the way so I can select the Australian data, and again, hold down Control, select those, click OK. Now I've got that chart created for Australia without having to go through the process of making the new one, selecting it, going through adding my title and all that. So I can copy and paste it and then just go through those steps to make copies of them. And I'll do that one more time. I'm going to copy, paste, move that down, double click in the title. Next one would be New Zealand. And again, click on there, double click to bring up your menu and down to value, remove those values, click on the little add value and then click on the select data range, move that out of the way because it so conveniently always puts it in your way, and then click on the first for New Zealand, hold down Control, click on the second, click OK, and boom, you're done. Okay, so you can keep going with those to get through all of them, and then we'll be done the assignment for today. Okay, so it's all my pie charts in there for all of that data information. Taking a look at comparing Taylor Swift's sales by region to Metallica's sales by region.